Hey guys, Richard here with Ignis Umbra. I just wanted to share a quick solution to bloodshot eyes and overly red lips that might happen when you're editing things in Lightroom or Photoshop and you have to play with color a lot, maybe try and increase the saturation. You like where everything else is, but the end result is the eyes being bloodshot because you increased how much saturation there was. So, other than just not like using a mask or something to not affect the eyes when you're doing it, which can be difficult, at any rate, this fixes for anything, even if the photos just turned out that way or if they naturally had bloodshot eyes. I don't know what's going on. Like, I don't judge them. So, I edited these photos, Ninja Assassin, in a Shaolin school downtown, which is pretty cool. They let us shoot there. Definitely give him a follow on Instagram if you're so inclined. He does some really good cosplays and it's really fun. He's hilarious too. So, all right, I gave him these photos and he was happy. And then somebody posted on social media that his lips were ruby red. I don't know if that's fair, but his lips are maybe overly red, especially like I looked in and look at that. The eyes are most definitely bloodshot or red, whatever you want to call them. And then the lips might be a little bit too much too. So I made some presets and you can download these if you're so inclined, or you can just create them yourself. So this is using the October Lightroom Classic update, by the way. I'll definitely share stuff about this later, or you can just Google about the new update. But it basically changed how these masks work. You can just use the brush adjustment tool if you're using an old version of Lightroom. So, okay, so I have auto mask turned on and I have, let's see here, let's change this from custom to restore natural color. That's the preset that you'll download if you download my preset. But all this one is doing is changing the saturation down by 39. Okay? So I'm going to go over here and I'm going to paint it in. Now I have all the brush settings to 100%. With auto mask on, it is very important to keep in mind where the crosshairs are because it is going to keep the mask contained to what it thinks belongs to the plus sign. Okay, so I can turn this mask off. You can see that was the bright red. This is the normal red. Now, is it desaturated too much? That's up to you to decide, okay? For me, I think that this looks like what I would want my lips to look like, all right? So you can adjust this by going a little bit less. So maybe we can go to -30, -27. It's a little bit more pink maybe. But again, this is entirely what you want. For me though, I agreed with the commenter. I thought the lips were too much. So then I'm going to add another brush, but you can use the K key if you like. Again, I'm going to leave auto mask on, and I'm going to choose bloodshot eyes, what I call fixed. Now this one, what I did was I removed the tint, the red tint, by slating it more green. With a brush adjustment, you're kind of limited. You can't do things the same way you would do things normally in like Photoshop or whatever. But so there you go. And then I've got all these other tools. So it's going to increase the lighten up the shadows effectively. It's going to make them a little bit more white. It's going to make the blacks a little bit more, a little bit less black actually. And we are adding some clarity. And then let's just paint them in. I like making my brush just a little bit smaller. Bigger eye, bigger brush. And then sometimes, because I can't necessarily tell, like, so I can see that I escaped out of the mask a little bit here, so I'm just going to go ahead and erase that. And that's where sometimes it's just better to turn off the auto mask. When it works, guys, it is magical. When it doesn't work, there's no bueno. Okay. And actually, in this case, because I'm trying to remove red, change the brush green. And we can see it did not actually even add any over here, which is why I couldn't tell. I change my zoom to 100%. There we go. You don't want to get rid of too much near the corners of the eyes, because the corners of the eyes are naturally a little bit red. Let's hide the mask. This is what they were. This is what they are. You can definitely keep going extreme. Is this as white could be? No, but you don't want them to look unnatural, guys. You want them just to look better. And so for me, they're pink there. They're red. They're more like white there. Lips very bright red, very kind of like toned down red. Again, I still want the gold bracelets, the rings, 10 rings, obviously. And I want the outfit to be bright red. And I want the eyes to look more natural within the context of the scene. I don't want them to be like obviously painted in white. Just want them to be, not look like he's been doing some now mostly legal drugs. So with that, guys, make sure to download the presets if you're so inclined. Obviously, the Bloodshot Eyes preset is probably more useful as a preset. The others just decrease the saturation, but whatever. Notice all these brush presets. If you name your presets with numbers, you can make them pop where you want them to be. I often like to go like 1, 2, and 3, and then I just kind of like delete them out after I'm done. So I'm constantly creating presets and then finish a batch of photos and I delete them. With that, guys, I hope that you are having a good day, and post any questions you have and I'll be happy to go through the techniques I use on them. All right, bye guys.